Yep. Yep. All right. What's good? We're live. Let me know if you guys can hear me good. We are back. What's good? We haven't been live in a little bit. Anyone miss me? Missed you guys. Let's get to it. We're gonna get started here in a couple minutes. Where are you guys to? Some Africa. 2 in the What up? I wanna go to Africa. I wanna go to Cape Town. That'd be dope. Belgium was good. Switzerland, Portugal. See. Italy. Yeah, we're back in action. Gonna be following the routine. We'll be streaming schedule. We'll get the schedule back up and going for the rest of August. It's August 5th. We'll be here all month. Folks. All right. Market's been moving. No, it's my birthday in 3 days. My birthday's in 3 days, so I'm still 28. 28 years old still. I'm 28 years old, well, 29 in a few days. I used to be just like you guys. Probably from an average place, average town. I was talking about this the other day in Discord, because I get a lot of DMs from people who are kind of not where they want to be in life. And I wrote a lot about this in Discord. I don't know if you guys saw the other night. I was scrolling through some of my DMs, just kind of like scrolling through, you know, like a little like fast. I was seeing like, you know, what some of what a lot of people are saying, and I hope this message got to some of you guys. Wrote a message the other night in the Discord. Like I said, I've been scrolling through, like, between Instagram, Discord. You can see messages kind of pop up quickly sometimes on your phone. You can kind of see like the first sentence and bit of things. So sometimes you see a lot of the same stuff. People who are not where they want to be in life, really. How you got to look at it. You know, like I like to say, new year, new me. That stuff sounds all cute, but it's just like a recycled caption unless you really do something, right? So like how you got to look at it right now. If you're not where you want to be in life, it's August. Look at next August. Don't wait till the new year to start working. A year from now, where do you want to be? A year from now, you gotta be. A year from now, you want to be the person that can look back and say, "I'm farther ahead than where I was a year ago." You don't want to be the person who says, "I'm in the same place" or "I'm farther behind." And that's how most people go by their years. So I'm a 28-year-old, just like most of you guys. Average place, average town. Where I grew up, what was around me? What was around me? Not much. There wasn't much motivation, big things. It was just average city, average town, average mindset, average beliefs, average system. Thank God I found trading and personal development. Go check out what I wrote the other day in Discord, though. It's a long little message. that I put in there the other night. A little TED Talk. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's in the mindset section under information. If you haven't seen that, go read it. Go give it a little read. Maybe later tonight. Maybe some things, some notes you can take from there. Early birthday, yeah. Not 29 yet. Still 28. Trip was good. Fun. But yeah, I used to be just like a lot of you guys, wanting to figure it out, kind of wanting to solve the puzzle piece in life. And it's just a matter of consistency. So most people will quit due to slow progress. If you go back to my Instagram and you scroll all the way down, there's a picture I posted from 2017 of me on the charts. You can scroll to, it's one of the first pictures on my Instagram, very first picture on my Instagram page. If you scroll down, and it's in like 2017, and the caption, I think the caption I wrote is, most people will quit due to slow progress, not realizing that slow progress is still progress, right? So consistency is key. If you go back to my Instagram, there's one of the first, you'll see the first ever trading post on my Instagram if you scroll all the way down, and it's from 2017. You'll have different types of progress along the way. You'll have success and you'll have failure. Now, those are not two opposites. Most people in general life look at, I'm either going to be a success or I'm going to be a failure. When you're going towards your goals, when you're trying to achieve something in life, right, you're going to have different types of progress. You're going to have success, you're going to do things right, you're going to accomplish things, you're going to hit milestones, you're going to have goals, you're going to have new trades, you're going to have profitable days, you're going to have winning streaks, you're going to grow your account. But then you'll have another road also inside of there where there could be setbacks, trials and tribulations, mistakes, errors that you make, blown accounts, losing streaks, right? Things that might come with a different side of emotion. Anxiety, stress, greed, fear of missing out. When you look at the road to success, it's a path, it's one straight path, right? It's not success, failure. Success and failure are both on the path, and failure and success are a part of each other. They're not two separate things, they're a part of each other. So along your journey to progress, we call it progress, right? You're gonna have to identify your progress along the way. Maybe every 3 months, maybe every 4 months, every month. How much better did I get this month? How much more did I learn this month? How much more did I grow this month? Or how much this 3 months? How much this 4 months? This quarter? Half the year? Right? You want to track your progress along the way and identify, okay, what am I doing? Even when it comes down to failures, right? Because the only way you're really going to get good at things and more successful at this is by also making failures and identifying those along the way and realizing that those are only going to make you better, right? Trust me. We're all traders. We go through the same emotions. We're all investors on these charts. We all go through the same emotions. I've taken some big losses. I've pretty much at one point in my life been to rock bottom. And for me, that was like the best place to go in my journey to success after 11 years was pretty much like losing everything overnight after building it up over like 8 years and then losing like things just like this in the snap of a finger. So I was like, I've been an interesting journey for me to talk about these things because I've made money, I've lost it, I've made, and I've lost it all, and I've made it back all more. So it's definitely like a humbling journey along the way, especially when you can look back at your losses and realize they only make you stronger. So don't fear failure. It's a part of the process. Most people that I talk to, they kind of fear it. It's like, I'm either going to lose or win. No, along the way, you're going to take losses, but you're going to learn how to control them. You're going to learn how to overcome them. You're going to learn how to build thicker skin along the way, right? I've had months. I remember my early trading days. So I've been trading now over 10 years. I remember times where I would grow accounts for 4 months and then give it all back to the market. And those experiences would really frustrate me the most. Those were the ones that hurt the most. Because it would be like, not the money, the time spent, the work, but I would never let it get too much in my way. I would always look at the fact that, what did I do in that 4 months? You know, I grew the account from here to here. Okay, I can do that. You know, for years I kind of have myself in that loop of growing accounts, blowing them, growing account, giving half of it back to the market over periods of time. It would be 4 months of trading, 6 months of trading, 8 months of good trading, periods of good trading, in and out, where it would just be cycles, give it back to the market. And I never let those experiences, you know, shut me down. I always really looked at them and said, okay, look what I was able to do from here to here. I just got to be more disciplined, right? So those are the things you got to identify. Identify the good. You know, the bad's gonna make you stronger, but you grow account. You might have times where you give money back to the market, or where things don't feel like they're going as good. You want to always identify slow progress along the way. Just be consistent. Consistency's got me here. And less is more. One thing, not even having to take so many trades in a day, quality over quantity, but we're going to be going over some things tonight, analyze the charts a bit. Gold's been moving nice. It came down really low last week. There was honestly pretty clean setup in here. On some of the streams last week, I was talking about this discount area that we were analyzing before the market even came down there. I'm going to pull it up in a minute. Yeah, last week, like if you look at the price action, like if you look at for buys on gold, 4-hour rejections, really. Like anybody who's been chasing the buys, because anywhere I've taken buys have been, I remember looking for a buy here. So I've only been looking for buys on the 4-hour rejections. If you guys noticed, I haven't traded a lot, but there was a couple of trades I caught. If you guys look at gold, for instance, downtrend we've been in, but we just shifted out of that downtrend. The buys have been there, but just on the 4-hour, and then you came to that big buy finally at the end of the week. And I remember saying that on a session. The 4 hours reliable. We were going over this uptrend here. I remember us saying this on a session recently. I don't know which session it was, but it would have been like last week. One of the last probably 2 or 3 sessions I did. I don't know if it was YouTube or Inner Circle, but it would have been probably one of the last like 3 sessions I did. I was talking about like, imagine if you were looking for sells here. Okay, sell, rejection candle. It was in an uptrend, and it would have been going against the trend, but eventually you finally get that big sell. And I was saying on a session, gold's probably going to do the same thing, where the 4-hour buys, you still want to go with them because eventually one will stick. I remember saying that on a session, and I was talking about this piece of the market in relation to that. I was saying like, okay, see this uptrend, for example? I have an uptrend here, right? And you see in this uptrend, there's 4-hour rejection candles. So one of the things I like to focus on is rejection candlesticks. If you go through my YouTube videos, if you're in the Inner Circle, in the course, in classroom, there's a whole section on rejection candles, and September there's going to be more added. So September I'm uploading the next courses, probably like middle of September, in the Inner Circle. On YouTube, whether it's videos I've made or even live streams, so many live streams we've probably talked about on YouTube too. Like there's probably plenty. There's a full section in the Inner Circle I made for you guys that I talk about this. I think it's under basics, or maybe it's under the intermediate section. Let me check. It would be candlesticks. Yeah, like there's a whole area over here. Japanese candlesticks. There's a whole section there on candlesticks. Well, some videos. And we go into the charts and stuff. We've talked a lot about wherever we are, YouTube. I know we've talked a lot about rejection candlesticks. It's a very common concept. Type in the chat for me. If you guys are familiar with that term, most of you guys that tune in here on a regular basis, I'm sure have heard me say it probably hundreds of times. Some of you guys, maybe that's a new concept. I just know with the amount of times I've streamed, it's something we always talk about. Rejection candlesticks. It's like one of the main things we focus on when it comes to like understanding gold, understanding price action. There are some pretty good ones on my YouTube too. I know I've made a good amount. To show you everything, it would be like it's everywhere. Yeah, most of you guys should be familiar with rejection candlesticks. If you're not, it's a common concept we talk about here on the streams when it comes down to like focusing on gold and even price action. So like, if you take, for those of you guys that really know, like you take this uptrend, you can see there was like sells. There was some rejection 4 hours, right? Now, market was in an uptrend, so realistically, those sells were just pullbacks. They were continuations. So whether you were looking at them as reversals, they would have been good times to sell, but the market didn't go, in a crazy direction. But there were some good down movements after these rejection candles. Now, at a certain point, the trend is going to just like exhaustion, right? At a certain point, enough waves are going to be done, and that trend's pretty much going to like exhaust out, right? After enough waves are done. You can see here, usually when you start at like the bottom of a trend and you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, usually after 5 waves, let's just say if this is like the bottom, we go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so this extended even more. Eventually, like, something's gonna kind of exhaust out, even if like the sell confirmations in an uptrend, you can see they're there, but and then eventually it turns into that big shift. Same thing happened in this downtrend, and I was saying that at one point throughout last week, where I was like, okay, we're getting buys. You could see I was saying we're getting buys. Like, we had a rejection candle here. So if we look at gold, it was in a nice downtrend. The first like kind of buy, I would say, was after this candle. I remember even sending a signal after that candle. And then the next buy would have been here. And then the next buys would have been down here. And then, like, you could see, like, gradually it's smaller continuation. And gradually it's increasing, and then you finally get that reversal at the end. That's why, like, the 4 hours is a good time frame to stick with. I mean, the setups might not always hit to the degree of the target or the maximum that you're looking for. Maybe like you're looking for a buy. Like, imagine you're looking for a buy here, and you think the market's gonna go all the way up here. You're trying to hold it farther, and it keeps continuing, right? Like, in a downtrend, you will have buy setups, right? This is why I like sticking with the 4 hour. I took a buy on this candle. This candlestick right here, I took a buy on this candle. This green one. I was actually trying to buy pretty much like every single one of these green candles when I saw them close. I haven't traded a lot. I was able to catch a good move here and here, but up here took 2 losses pretty much like in a row. Like, market went into profit. This one went down. This one was a banger. You could see, like, it's actually pretty simple when you look at it. It's literally just waiting for rejection candles. The 4 hour is a pretty spread out time frame, all right? So there's some waiting. You're not always going to be in the market when you're looking at the 4 hour, really, because it's pretty spread out. Like, let's say you're looking, like, I've been chasing the buys. I have no sells on my end. Literally just been chasing buys on gold whenever I see them, whenever they're like clear for me, and they've been spread out. You can finally see at the end here, you get that rejection candle that shifts price up, and then it even trades back into that. Right now, it looks like gold's gonna come down. Like, we broke out of a big downtrend. There was some nice movement at the bottom here. Like if you stuck with it, if you were looking for buys, if you were like looking for buys all last week, it would have just been honestly like just chilling on the 4 hour here, like waiting for these 4 hours to close. This one and this one came down to a nice area too, like a support level. Like it came pretty low. Even if you use your quarters, like if you only use your quarters, so like quarters is every $25 on gold. Let's mark every $25, right? We can throw the indicator on real quick. I updated it. Let's see, did it work? Yeah, there. That's easier. I'm gonna take this off. Let me put 25. There, that's faster. All right. I gotta show you guys, like this week we're gonna go through a lot of the indicators and stuff. Like, see how I just put it on real quick? Even just the quarters, around the quarters, near the quarters. Like, look at where, like, this buy was super close to 33.50. Super close. And then the next buy was super close to really at 33.25. And then the next buy was literally around 3,300. And then the next buy, 33.75. See that? 33.75 was in a discount. So I've been adding you guys to the indicator. I added some of you guys. I've been adding you guys. I added all you guys to this one. Yeah. Oh, I gotta add you. Someone just commented. I added everyone to this. I've been adding those of you guys in the inner circle, this one. I think I added like 100 people so far. I'm gonna keep going through it tonight. Once I add everybody to this one, I'm gonna upload the next indicator, the next tool, which is the smart money concept one. I'll show you in a minute. But look at price. This is something we've talked about. If you're an OG here, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. If you're an OG here, every $25. So if you're an OG here, you know about every $25 on gold for sure, right? Those are gonna be, so when it comes down to every $25 on gold, I've been trading gold religiously, guys. Those of you guys, I put a lot of you guys are my close friends on Instagram that are in my inner circle. Go look at my close friends stories on my highlights. You'll see I've been trading gold for a while. I gotta add more to that under trade. It goes back to like 2021. I gotta go through my archives and add more to there. I put a lot of you guys on my close friends. Go to my Instagram highlights and click on trade. You'll see some crazy stuff. You'll see some crazy stuff. You will see some crazy stuff. It's all real too. It is all 100% real. Okay. I put a lot of you guys on my close friends. There's a highlight on my close friends. There's a highlight on my Instagram. If you're on my close friends, you can see it. There's highlights on my Instagram. If you're on my close friends, you can only see them. So it's all real. It's all real. Real life. Real life lived. Real watches. Real everything. Real profits. All right. It's all real. The watches, profits, life. Go back and look. I added like 300 of you guys. I think I still gotta add more though. Those of you guys that know every $25, look where the buys are literally, if you study gold the last like bit over a week, you'll notice the buys are coming relatively every $25. All right, you break it like, so that's a quarter. For those who don't know about this concept, that's called your quarters. When it comes down to gold, one of the things we focus on is its quarter levels. So every $25 is one. We can do this in crypto too, and that's one of the lessons I'm going to be going over throughout the August Mastery Month. This is our first session, and I'm going to be going over a lot of information all month to help you guys level up. So all these sessions, I recommend studying that I do this month, because there's going to be a lot of valuable information that I go over every session. Every $25 is going to be like weekly. It could be even like daily, weekly and monthly key levels. Like through the week, you're going to see the market literally come to these levels. A lot of times when you break a $25 level, you're pretty much going to be trying to head towards the next one. So this is how we like to trade, like on the 4 hour a lot of times. is by just kind of waiting, sitting on our hands. You'll notice with gold, it's very respective to the $25 levels. It's very, very respective to numbers like 3,300, 3,325. So these blue lines, you can't, the prices aren't like showing, but if you look, that's 3,400 up there. This is 3,375, 3,350, 3,325, 3,300. At the bottom here, you can't see, let me move my camera a bit, is 3,275. When it comes down to gold, so if you want to get good at gold, I'll show. This is an indicator, but I'll show you guys just kind of free roam. A practice I used to do for years in different ways. Right, you can mark your whole numbers. I've made some tools that are in my inner circle that you guys will have access to. You don't have to do this all the time, but it's still even good to do this as like a practice. Honestly, I spent years always just, you know, drawing levels on the chart and redrawing them a bit, just as like a practice. I spent years doing it, but I have some tools that don't need to draw it. But for those of you guys that are kind of new to this concept, all right, every $25 on gold is one way that we can kind of identify key levels through the week, through the month as well. For example, when I say month, let me show you what I'm talking about. So what do I mean by month? So realistically, let's look at July. July is all here. So throughout the month, if you consider a month of price action, we can even go down. I like to kind of think of, okay, the month, these are going to be monthly levels, because like price is going to find them in the month. We're going to see them through the day, like obviously the days and the weeks, right? Months broken down into the months broken down into your weeks, right? So we consider like what is July to August, right? You have a month of price action all in here. July to August. So when I first started trading, I remember watching a video by like Tai Lopez, and he used to always say you kind of just want to, when you're doing things, you just want to kind of think like a mad scientist, think outside the box. This is how I used to study for myself. Is I would take the months. So I go, like I'm talking 2016, 2017, 2018, like this is what I used to do every fucking day. Every day. This would be my video game. This would literally be my video game. I would take the months and I would study it. I would literally study the months, month by month. Get an idea of price, how it moves. I would study different levels. Now I'm showing you guys every $25, but you can even do every $10, etc. That's what I would do to kind of gain a perspective of just how the month may move, see different things, study different things. But that's your month right there. Throughout the month and your weeks, price is going to see these levels. So there's time to act. There's time to wait. These are important levels that you can use in your trading, especially when you're like a 4-hour trader like me. I like to look at the 4-hour a lot in the market. So if you look at last week, and when you study these prices, it's gonna come down to a point where it's just kind of trusting them, like really, because like you might see bigger moves off of them and smaller moves off of them. It'll come down to a point of just like seeing enough, spending enough time watching it, even on your phone. Once you really, if gold's gonna be the pair you choose to watch, even just watching it on your phone, on like your MetaTrader, because it's really fluid with its movements and its structures. Maybe if you have like these prices marked on your phone, let's say on your cell phone, right? Your TradingView or your MetaTrader app, or whatever app you have, right? Trading platform. Have these even on your phone. All right, here's a key tip, because you're not always going to be on the laptop, right? You might be at work, you might be on the bus, you might be driving, you might have time just on your phone a lot. You might think about how much screen time you might spend, so you can always just quickly look at it, check where prices are. Keep these levels, keep levels even marked on your chart, and time and time in the day, just watch price and look at where it reacts. Watch different time frames, even for like sections of the day. Even right now, like go on your phone and mark every $10 and just keep it there. Keep levels on your phone and pay attention day by day to just what happens at different points. You don't have to catch trades, but this will help train your eye. It's what I did for years. No matter where I'd be, I like for years, like I could have been literally at a beach chilling and I would be on my phone watching the charts. I could have been in a club going out and I'd be probably spending an hour or two literally on the charts. Wherever I am, literally, I'm always looking at the charts. It's my job. It's my life. I'm a trader, right? Doesn't matter where I am in the world. You'll literally see me just sitting watching, look at the candles, put my phone away. Oh, let me look at the price. Let me check out, like, just like it's what I've always done. It's second nature. And that could be a key little tip. Like keep these levels marked on your chart. Like MetaTrader 5 is very clear on the phone. And what I always like to do is take like, okay, let me take like the 1 hour and mark every $10 on my MetaTrader. It's right there. And zoom in and literally see price and get an idea more of training my eyes. This is for training your eyes. What I'm talking about right now, the phone thing is for training your eyes, okay? It's for like better, trust me, like it will help train your eyes so much if you get used to it. The more time you do it, the more consistent you're with it, you'll get more used to it. Like the more you do something, the better you get at it. It's like playing a video game. How you guys played video games back in the day. Oddly enough, traders, people who really like playing video games as kids, like I was a geek. I liked playing video games. I was playing freaking Halo 1, 2, 3, all the way up until like Halo Reach. If you know, Xbox Live, literally like Halo Wars. I was like on PlayStation playing like Twisted Metal Black, 007. Call of Duty, not Call of Duty Modern Warfare, not COD 4, the first COD, the very, very first COD. I was like, I played video games like, so like part of my life as a boy was literally like video game guy. I like playing video games a lot. Oddly enough, a lot of traders that I know that are really good at trading too played a lot of video games. As like a child, as like a teenager, childhood, like I had that phase in my life. Yeah, these videos will be all posted. I'll make a playlist for them. That's a key tip. Remember that. That'll help. You gotta train your eyes because like the more you do this, the better you're gonna just get at it. The more time you put into it, the more second nature it's gonna become. Like by watching the candles, by even just watching the candles. Like the 4 hour is a good place to start by understanding rejection candlesticks. If you look at, I took a buy. I made some good money on this trade on Friday. I held it. Even if you look here, these are solid rejection candles. These are like areas that we look for trades in when the market's identifying these types of rejections for us. It's basically like the market creating support. This candle is the candle I was entering on right here, this green one. And it was fluctuating for a period of time. It doesn't just go up right away. It's a 4 hour candle. So ideally, like when a 4 hour close is bullish, ideally we can understand like a support has been made because it's a stronger time frame. Now, there's also wicks in the market. Like if you look at here, see that long wick? That's a different situation right there. See how the market creates a very long wick there? So what is that? What does a long wick like that tell you? Liquidity grab potentially. A lot of stop losses taken out quick because it's a fast wick. It's a long wick. If we actually stretch the chart a bit, see a long wick there. Those are even good indications to see. Especially when we understand things like liquidity more in the market. Another thing is like this is also like when you're looking at structure, these are lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. Eventually, like when a trend is getting ready to shift, it'll hit that point of exhaustion. Boom, boom, boom. This is a shift. This is a shift right here. This right here, if you can train your eyes to see this, you will be good at spotting setups. That down there at the bottom, that shift in price, that shift up, usually will happen at the bottom of a downtrend, like we see here on gold. If you can get good at identifying these types of shifts up in the market, you'll be good at spotting reversals. They can happen on any time frame, right? Gold is known for making quick shifts up, and then, you know, when it's in a downtrend or a retracement, shifts like this that are more powerful. Like if you can train your eyes to identify shifts like this more in the market, you'll know what kind of stage the market's in when it shifts out of something. Gold can do that a lot. So let's look. If you look left, like if we look at left, so we're looking here, 32.75. We go to the left. When was the last time we were here? So this is the last time we were here, and it actually went to 32.50 last time. So here, 32.75. We go to the left. This was priced last time it was here. So that was kind of in the end of June. Yep, here. Now, if you notice, it also actually tapped right down to 32.50. Big reversal, ideally in the same area. This was a whole discount area here on gold. There was a big order block here. Price here had a pretty fast shift out. Like on a smaller time frame, you might be able to see it actually. This is the shift out here, from here to here. There's a big shift out, and then it continues the trend. Break and retest. If you go to the left, look at the last time price was here, right down here. That's 32.50, 32.75, 32.50, 32.75. If you go back on the last stream I did, guys, I was saying 32.80, 32.90. So I wasn't saying 75. The last streams I did, we were talking about this area on gold. It was literally the last stream I did. It would have been the last stream that I did. We're talking about that it could come down there, because there was a discounted zone down there. I'm gonna find it real quick. But if you look at those prices, again, you can see to the left, right, how prices behaved before as well off of that zone. I forget exactly where it was. So I like, whether it's, you could study whether it's in the past or in recent. I mean, past, future, these levels are good to just even keep on your chart, even if you miss setups. It's good to have them there. It's good to have them, be aware of them. Even if you miss a trade, it's good to see, like, okay, the reactions. Last week, this indicator worked really well. So I'm gonna upload it tonight. Last week we were talking about over here, I was saying 32.90, like 32.80 area, which was at the bottom of this was this discounted. This is a discount zone that it was marking right here. One here. We were talking about these zones last week. These areas below us where the market could come to. I was saying there's like a discount below us in price. Last week I was saying we could drop, even FOMC, I was saying FOMC could drop price and stuff to those discounted areas. If you go watch, if you're on that session, it ended up coming literally down to those zones. It was pretty fire. I have that indicator. That indicator is the smart money structure indicator. Let's put it on real quick. Should load. It's probably loading. There, yeah. But I don't think it's gonna have the it's not gonna have the zone anymore, I don't think. But last week it was like down here, there was a discount zone down here. The next zone on the 4 hours is 32.50. Right now, gold could go up higher. Even the daily, you had a nice daily bullish close there too. Inverse hammer. That's an inverse hammer right there. You even had a nice close there. I made money on this trade. I was happy. It was a banger. Yeah, 32. Look where the equilibrium is. 32.50. You even got, like, I sent a signal. I stuck with it. You're in my inner circle. I sent a signal the other night. Because I was literally like trying to buy 32.50. A good amount of people caught it on their own, stuck with it. It didn't hit our entry in the moment, and then it literally came back like this morning, and I was literally on the way to the airport like, you know what? YOLO. I went in and I'm getting ready, packing my bag, getting ready for the taxi, cab, boom, boom, boom. If you know what it's like going from the checking out of the hotel, airport flow, boom, 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 boom. You're going quick. Yeah, that life. Fast lane. So this morning, I'm literally like waking up, getting ready to go to the airport. I was at the resort at the SLS in Playa Mujeres. It was fire. I think you guys saw if you follow me on Instagram. Recommend going there. Definitely recommend going there. If you have the budget one day, maybe a good place to go. Well, I mean, it wasn't even super crazy. I've been to more expensive places, but it was good. The staff was all amazing. It was a great place. If you got the budget though, you know, it's a good place. SLS. It was here at 33.50. I caught a buy. I tried to I was trying to send a buy the other night. That was here. I forget where. Literally, price was on this candle. And wait, no. Price was like here. Yeah, that's when I sent that buy when price was here, and it like just missed 33.50. I saw some people got in, and then this thing came back to 33.50. So it's like holding 33.50. Right now, gold's holding. Yeah, you can see 33.50 is holding right now. It's in a resistance, though. It could come down to 33.50. Yeah, like we had a nice. There was a trend shift. Like this broke out a trend. This had a trend shift here. You can see like nice counter trend line break there. You can see a nice trend shift. Nice trend shift there. Breakage. We broke up. But you can see we've been holding that 33.50 level pretty nicely. That's like where the equilibrium is on, like, I think on the 4 hour even. Yeah, on the 4 hour there. This indicator, so a lot of the tools that I'm making for you guys, I've used for years. Like, so a lot of tools, and then we're gonna have the gold scanner. The gold scanner is gonna be fucking dope. Gonna have 2 versions of it. Version 1's almost done. It's gonna be dope. Those of you guys that are in Inner Circle, I'm telling you, I've invested a good amount into the infrastructure of the Inner Circle for the future. I've invested a good amount of time and money, to be honest. So, like, yeah, there's a lot coming soon and later. I'm a man of vision, but yeah, the gold scanners is almost done. Version 1. I'm gonna make another one, and then we also have another strategy, the Bollinger Band strategy. Trust, there's a lot of stuff. I'm gonna upload this indicator tonight. This is a tool that you can check things off like to your preference. Like, there's change of character, break of structure, market structure shift, equal highs, equal lows, equilibrium zones, premium and discount zones. It'll show market structure shifts. It'll show a lot of stuff. You don't have to check you don't have to have it all on. But it's tools I've used for years. Like you could even mark the daily, weekly, and monthly levels. And depending on like when you shift time frames, it'll show you different levels as you switch the time frames. These are just tools that I've literally used for years and stuff I've just trained my eyes, and it'll just help train your eyes faster. Maybe help you just equip yourself more with things you know, and even things you don't know, things that you know but you don't really know how you know. Like they'll show you break of structures, change of characters on here, so you can get ideas as you're going back on the chart. Like, oh, okay, I see a change of character happening. Oh, okay, I would have saw a trade here. I see why now. You don't have to look for everything. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to look for everything and be a full-on wizard. Just look for what's clear. These types of things will help train your eyes. I would say if you're like new, if you're new, like go through the course and everything. There's a lot of videos if you haven't been through the full course. Gold right now, 33.50 has been holding. Could possibly come back down, like it already did. There was a big shift, like this was a big shift up, and I do think price wants to go up. I think we're still bullish. 33.75, pretty much holding at the moment. Yeah, I think we're still bullish on price, to be honest. Yeah, like it looks like it's gonna hold 33.75, maybe 33.67 area. I think we're still bullish. It's Tuesday as well, and this started reversing end of last week. Thursday, Friday reversal. I even said on a stream, I think like gold, like if you go back to last week, I said it's probably going to be a Thursday, Friday reversal this week after FOMC, because FOMC is going to get in the way, blah, blah, blah. Like, I said it on point. Like, and it might just sound like sometimes I'm saying things, but that's just like literally like years and years and years and years and years and years and years of sessions, man, you know? Some of you guys have been following me for years. It's what I do. It's what I've done. If you heard any of the words I said last week, I was even saying like Thursday, Friday reversal possibly this week. NFP had a weak data. So what do we know? Like NFP was look at this bad boy. Look at this. So where were we? NFP. So when you look at this, NFP came out really bad last week. Came out way worse than expected. So you're gonna have forecasts for these events. There's gonna be the forecast, the number that they're estimating or they're anticipating for the data. NFP last week came out way worse than expected. If you look at the previous number as well, the previous number is also not good. The previous actually came out, and that's what happens month by month. What was forecasted worse than expected. If that happens, this is a good example. This is a good example right here. This is a good NFP. This is one you want to take note of. Put this in your notes. Guys, go look at the news video. If you guys have not seen the news video yet, go watch it. Where is it? Is it this one? Nope. This one right here. When I say go journal this one, go watch this video. I've done this training a couple times for you guys. Right, where I've talked about you can just journal the news, but you want to remember a situation like this. You want to remember how these things can play out. This is a good one to kind of remember, because if you ever see something like this was bad for USD. Because you had the forecast, what was forecasted, but worse than expected. So employment change, non-farm employment change, that number came out worse than expected, especially from what previous months have been. Previous months were better. The forecast, a farther worse number came out, and the previous number was actually way lower. So not good numbers there. Bad. That's a situation where like it makes sense to see what gold did. How gold moved. Super bullish after that too. Still looking bullish like on price. I think looking for pullbacks and seeing if the bullish can maintain. It's above 75 right now. It might be trying to hold above 75. Yeah. Can we come down to 50 again? Maybe, but you got two areas to keep an eye on right here between 33.75 and 33.67. We could potentially hold that for bullish, the bulls, or maybe we come back to get a retest of 33.50. 33.50 is a strong low, as you can see, whereas we have a weak high in front of us. We did break structure here. We did get a BOS, so it's looking like more continuation. We have a weak high here, strong low down here. This one, I'm gonna make videos for those of you guys in my inner circle. Like this weekend, what I'm gonna do is spend time making videos. Like there's gonna be a new section added. That'll be just like tools. It'll be like the tools section. I'm gonna add another section where I just make videos on all these things and just add videos on all these things. Premium and discount, you can add it. It's not on right away, but you can add the premium and discount zones, which has the premium zone, the equilibrium zone, and the discount zone. This will help you get a better idea of where you are on price. Like, okay, I'm a bit higher. I don't want to be aggressive up here buying. Maybe I want to look for a good pullback into equilibrium or the stronger low where there's more of a discount. It's a good tool. It'll help train your eyes. I've used stuff like this for years. And for those of you guys that used to follow me back in the Go Live days, and I wouldn't keep my camera on, and you guys were wondering how I was always looking. I would always have these things on my chart on my screen, or how you guys used to wonder how I'd always look at the chart. I've used these tools, these types of tools for years, just to train my eyes. Like training my eyes. Like these tools will help you become. I'm not gonna say they're gonna help you make money right away. They're gonna make money right away. Like some of them, like the scanner, maybe the strategy ones, but they'll help train your eyes for sure. Like I know if you watch the course videos, you attend the live sessions, and you'll make money. You'll learn how to make money on your own. A lot of people in my inner circle, or even people that follow me just on YouTube, have learned how to make profits or had breakthroughs on their own. A lot of you guys. These tools will help train. This will help train your eyes. Like you can kind of see where we are on the chart. Whatever. Like so, if you go 4 hour, so like 4 hour, there's a zone here. See? 4 hour, there's a zone here. If I go 2 hour, it's gonna change a little bit. See? See, like, so 4 hour. If I go 2 hour, changes a bit. If I go 1 hour, it's about the same. 30-minute, changes. 15, changes. 5, smaller range. 1, way smaller range. So obviously we kind of want to get a bit idea of where we are in the higher time frame. Like, okay, realistically there's a zone here. That makes sense why there is one there too. If you look at structure, you have a nice breakout here. It's holding that. As you break it down, it's gonna kind of sandwich, like find smaller ranges. I'm on a 4 hour, so the range is gonna start farther. If I go to a 2 hour, it might subsidize the range a bit, make it a bit more. Maybe not so much different, but obviously you can see down here there's a discount at 33, around 32.55, 32.44 area on the 4 hour. But then there's this in the middle. But then if I go 2 hour, it shows here now. And then here, if I go 1 hour, You can see. I'm gonna upload this one tonight. I just gotta finish. If you go, I've started adding some of you guys to this. I updated the other one. Maybe I gotta add you guys. You just commented. I'll add you. Don't worry. Got you. I'm gonna do that tonight. I'm gonna add this one tonight. This one's cool. I gotta make videos on this stuff though. Like some of you might be confusing. It's a tool to help you train your eyes too. Like what I recommend is you can always boom boom. That's why I'm making these separate. I'm gonna make the whole numbers one. Gonna make another one that's just the whole numbers. It doesn't have everything on it. It's just gonna be like the gold watch, whole numbers, nothing else on it. So you could have like 3 of them here. You could have like 3 of them here, and you can take one off. I'm gonna make it so it could be like 3 that, because one of them has like this one has like the moving average. To go with the flow, I put the moving average in there, and candlesticks. It's just like a moving average on steroids. Bitcoin is, what's Bitcoin at? Pullbacks. It's a good tool, but for now, let's look at gold a little bit more. I took it off. I think there's a strong low around 32.50, 33.50. I wouldn't. I don't always like to keep the order blocks on. Like, say if you take this off, so these blue zones are also order blocks, and bearish, bullish order blocks. So these red, the blue, and the red, you have bearish and bullish order blocks. Now again, depending on the time frame you're on, it's like the same thing. Like if I'm on a 4 hour, they're gonna be somewhere else. If I go to like a 1 hour, it's loading. So down here on the 1 hour. If I go to a 30 minute, if I go to a 15 minute, you can take those off. There's different things you can toggle here and show and unshow. $75, $70, maybe there's a signal coming later tonight. That area again, like I said, there's a strong low. It even marks. See how it says strong low? It'll say strong low or weak high. So like here, there's a weak high on the 15 minute. Down here, there's a strong low at 33.50. $33.50 could be interesting level. Yeah, like there's a zone here on gold that could potentially hold, or we're gonna come down to like 33.50 for a retest. That's what I see like on the 15 minute, 30 minute chart, a bit on the 1 hour too. On the 4 hour time frame, like back here, like it already pretty much did that move, like here, this area here to the left. Like we don't even need the indicator on here. You can see like the shift up here. It broke up all of this. There's resistance here, which is holding above 33.50. Ethereum, and one Ethereum, it's a race. 1 Ethereum, 1 ounce of gold. Ethereum's more expensive now. Ethereum took the lead. That's comparable price for now. So like Ethereum goes like $5,200. Or maybe gold. What happens first? Gold 4,000 or Ethereum 4,000? What's first? Or gold or Ethereum 5,000 or gold 4,000? Which one's first? In these times, Yo, you see what Trump's doing to European Union? 35% tariffs if they don't do the $600 billion investment into the US or whatever. Yo, man's going hard right now. Man's going hard right now, fam. Like, man's in it. On the higher time frame, it's that like down here. You might get a. It looks like this candle's gonna reject bearish, and we're gonna come down to like here. That's what I see on the 4 hour. Yeah, this candlestick looks like it's gonna close bearish, and you might get a little dip down. Actually, yeah, probably back to 33.50. They take out that low. I like this setup if this is the buy. If it takes out this low and it comes back into this zone, that would be a good liquidity sweep. And you have this previous resistance over here. Maybe later on in the week. That's not a 4 hour. This candlestick looks like it's going to close bearish. Yeah, this one's dropping. Looks like we could come down. Maybe come back to 33.50. Any smaller price action, like if this... Because it looks bullish overall, like gold looks bullish overall. It's testing 33.75 right now. Any like smaller price action that, you know, if you see gold like just shift up, then I would look for like continuations. Like any possible, like if it shifts up above these highs fast and it just shifts out of here, that's again like a break of structure, more like a continuation sign. I could try to do that later. Overall, I still think price looks bullish. It might try to come back to 33.50. Right now, a bit aggressive, like more aggressive. It might not hold that 33.75, like 33.68 area, which is like where that equilibrium is. That could hold potentially. Like that would be, when I say a bit more aggressive, like short term. Like it might not hold. Could potentially, it would be the zone. If it does, it would be like a shift out, break up, and then look for continuations probably. I want to watch gold and see what it does with price. I don't want to just jump into buys. I want to watch because I understand where it's at. It could just try to shift up faster later if it's still bullish. But even down in here, come back down. I already tried that. Could come back down potentially. 33.50. 4 hour looks like it's about to close bearish here. Maybe give you some movement down. I just got home. I caught a buy this morning, so I'm just chilling right now. I'm gonna wait. Not gonna call a trade out here. Just wanted to hop on, say what's up. First session of the week, first session of the month, pretty much. You'd have to watch price. Though I wouldn't be like it's in a zone that it's not ready yet. I wouldn't FOMO. Not gonna miss much. It's moved pretty good. This is just like I would say a short-term area between, again, 33.75, 33.68 that could potentially hold scalping or short-term. Otherwise, look at this low here. You have a low here. This low. If market does come back and it takes that low out, then probably a good reversal situation. Time is it? Yo. Yeah, I like to start like on the 4 hour. It's better to start, no matter like what type of analysis you're doing. Better to start on the higher time frame and work your way down. Like you could be just a 4 hour trader in general, like by basing your setups. You don't have to base your setups off the 5 minutes, basing maybe something off of, like right now it looks like the 4 hours is going to drop on gold, to be honest. Yeah, doesn't look like buys here. Looks like this 4 hours is about to close bearish and potentially go down on the next candle. Like this area without even that equilibrium being there stands out to me because you can see like over here. It's better to start on a 4 hour. It looks like it's gonna come down. We might come back to 32.50, even though it seemed like price is just at 33.85. Looks like this thing is gonna come back to 33.50 potentially. It's moving pretty fast. It's not that far away now when you consider it. I would wait. It looks like we might come back down to retest. 33.50. Might come back for like a retest on gold. Bitcoin's been interesting. Still above all this. I did say Bitcoin could come down to like 110 potentially. 112 got hit. Do we come down to 110? It's a possibility. We're in August, which is historically like the worst month for crypto. Now, Bitcoin, this is one of its halving years. For those of you guys that don't really know how let's say Bitcoin works, every day, well, every 10 minutes new Bitcoin is generated, but every day a certain amount of Bitcoin is mined and generated. Right now it's 450 Bitcoin. So if you understand how Bitcoin works, more of its supply comes out over time. What happens slower, it's more deflationary how it comes out. You can't slow over time, less and lesser comes out, but you get more of that supply coming out. It's more deflationary how it works, and every 4 years this impacts Bitcoin's price. The Bitcoin halving, for those that don't know, most people, if you talk to most people in the world, like I was just in Mexico and like everybody I asked if they know what Bitcoin is, because everywhere I went, it's like pretty much everywhere I went, I was like one of the youngest people, right? Like, and even the resort I was staying at, we were like we were like one of the youngest couples there. And what do you do? I always just Bitcoin. I always like to, I could say trading and stuff. I say trading and Bitcoin, but I like to say Bitcoin because I like to see what people say. I like to get a response and see where they're at, see what they know. It's not about me. I like to observe the economy around me and the world around me. So when I travel, I'm always asking people questions when I'm out. When people ask me what do you do, or people are talking, I always try to just get to see what they know about crypto, really, and see where the masses are at. And it's interesting, the more and more people you ask about Bitcoin, you'll still realize the masses don't know what it is. The masses aren't even so aware of it. Most people think it's just like a cryptocurrency. That's what it's like labeled as for most people, a cryptocurrency or a scam. Like there's still a lot of people think it's a scam. That's just like they don't understand it. Scam, still confused about money. That's what people are. Anyone who calls Bitcoin a scam is just still confused about money. They don't know. They don't know what they don't know. You don't know what you don't know. If you don't know, now you know, right? Like they say you don't know what you don't know, right? And if you understand Bitcoin, you understand this is a very important chart. Every 4 years. So right now, like we're like going probably onwards to go make a peak maybe towards the end of the year. That's what most people expect. The next halving is 4 years from now. So right now, 450 Bitcoin a day. That's the number that comes out every day. 450 Bitcoin generated, issued out to the market. Miners mine Bitcoin. Miners will receive rewards for mining blocks every 10 minutes. So every 10 minutes, new blocks are generated. But 4 years from now, right now we got 450 a day. That's the number right now. 450 Bitcoin per day. 4 years from now, that number gets cut in half. Hence why it's called the halving. All right. So every 4 years, this impacts Bitcoin's price dramatically every 4 years. This is what you got to know about Bitcoin and how you can prepare yourself long term and have the long term mindset. And still understand, maybe I'm not late to the party. I still have time to acquire some over the next 4, 8, 10 years. However much I can maybe get to. That's kind of where a lot of people's minds are at, especially these companies. There's a lot of companies just this last week, public companies invested $2.5 billion in Bitcoin. It's a big number. Especially when you understand how Bitcoin's issued out, like what I just said, right? 450 Bitcoin per day right now. 4 years from now, that number gets cut in half. It's going to become more scarce. Like, you got companies buying 2.5 billion worth just this last week, right? You know, how much is 2.5 billion going to be able to get them years from now? It's different things that go through my head that is intriguing about Bitcoin when you study it. So this is what you got to understand. Like, if you're new to crypto, you're new to Bitcoin, you're like, fuck, I missed the train. I missed the Bitcoin train. You might have to think differently, because most people think like that. When I say most people, I mean the person next to you, the person you work with, your Uber driver, the person that makes your coffee in the morning, your waitress, your gas station clerk, your family, your best friends, your coworkers, your boss, your managers, your teachers, your pet, right? The person next to you, the world around you, right? I was just in Mexico, for example, and again, conversations I had with everyone's staff, people who were serving me, people who were making my food, people giving me everything, making my hookah, giving me my drinks, different people, same conversations, same reactions, same outcomes. And it's everywhere I go, it's like that. Even here in the city I live in, for the most part. So you might think you're late to the trade because maybe you're looking at the world around you, and the world around you is looking at it how, oh, this thing's expensive, it's so far out of my reach. So you're just thinking like everybody else around you. You gotta start thinking like people like me, or people that are in the game, people that have skin in the game. Because people like me are looking at it like, yo, there's still time. There's still time, even at these prices, right? If you really understand the long-term game, and you understand this chart right here, it's every 4 years, right? Every 4 years is when the halving takes place. Look how price exponentially increases every 4 years. Even the last halving we had, April 2024, right? Prices now significantly increased. So wherever price goes between now and, think about it, the next halving, think about it. After that, prices will again, that like, you have time, but there's people like me that are like trying to accumulate as much as they can. They don't care about the cost of price, or there's even people like that are even far beyond my level that literally are going in like debt to like purchasing debt to do it, like acquiring, like there's people that are acquiring like investors, like companies that are getting like raising funds and stuff and treasuries, like like it's crazy what's happening right now. There's companies that are raising like funds for this stuff. Like, you know. Oh, 75. See, yeah, that area. A little bounce off of 75 there. 75 had a little bounce. That's a quarter. It was that equilibrium zone. 75, 68. I was saying that might be an interesting zone to keep an eye on. So, like, if you can see to the left too. 75 just got tapped. Tomorrow, next session we do, We're gonna go over this more and talk more in depth about this. Show you guys literally how Bitcoin does the same thing every cycle. Show you some things next session that most people don't know, how it literally repeats. How history's just repeated itself over and over again. It'll actually blow your mind. The next chart I show you guys, I'll do it next session, but yeah, gold might hold 33.75. This was a break of structure here. This was a break of structure. This is BOS. I consider this more like a bullish BOS up because we had this low. We took a price up. I look at that like a more break up structure. Me personally. So this low is important. Like we could hold this low down here. Like realistically. Where is... Even this is probably... the go with the flow. You have to click on it and you have to put EMA fill if you want it to have the EMA fill. We did get a shift too. Starting to get bullish here. Maybe a crossover. Shifted down, he broke up down, see, big trend shift, fast because the NFP, it was a fast trend shift. Yeah, I see us still bullish overall. Like I was saying when I got on, kind of when we did analysis. Two zones. Short-term zone, like I said, maybe like 33.75, 33.68 area. It still looks good. Just had a reaction there off of 75, little one, nothing crazy. So this is like when you study Bitcoin, this is just like, it's kind of like it's kind of like the basics of it in a way. Actually, it's in its white paper, it's in its protocol. Now if you talk to like an any day person who just knows Bitcoin as a cryptocurrency, most people don't know this about Bitcoin and how Bitcoin actually works. Most people aren't aware of that. It goes through this on a 4-year scheduled. It's scheduled. So it is scheduled, okay? All this stuff is scheduled, takes place, it's real. And yeah, like if you talk to most people, I talked to a guy once who made who had $1 million in crypto, but he didn't like. It was so funny, yo. Actually, true story. Oh my gosh, I remember talking to a guy once, a crypto trader, and the guy didn't even know what the Bitcoin halving was, and he had like $1 million and I was like, wait, what? I was so shocked. I was actually so shocked. I was like, wait, you don't know what the Bitcoin halving is? And I was so shocked. I was so shocked. 980 days. April 12th. So 2027, you want to be bullish going into, you want to be bullish before that date, technically. Like, think about it. Because the market will probably be kind of already going up before that date. It'll probably be kind of slightly in a bull stage and then go way more bull after. Like, that's, I know it's a long time, but you're going to realize in crypto, this is like, the year 2140. You realize like 4 years in crypto is short term because this is the protocol it goes through. This affects the chart dramatically every 4 years. Bitcoin is distributed through mining. There are 21 million Bitcoins in existence are scheduled to be mined through the year 2140. So all the next Bitcoin, there's only, I think we're about at 95% Bitcoin out right now, and some of it's lost. Like there's one guy who lost 8,000 Bitcoin. Do you guys know about the guy who lost he accidentally like threw out he threw something in the garbage and then his girlfriend ended up throwing it out. They both messed up. It's his fault. It's his fault. It's both their fault, his fault. Blame them both, blame him. Damn, yo. Yeah. What a guy. There's one guy who lost 8,000 Bitcoin. It's gone. It's already mined. It's out there. Don't like it. It's seed phrases gone. One gentleman who lost 8,000 Bitcoin. One person. Right now, we got almost 95% of the Bitcoin has been mined. Oh, there's still 5% to be mined, but the thing is, it's going to take a long time for that last 1%. Whales right now are trying to accumulate that last like 3-4% probably over the next years as it's distributed, as it goes on over time. Yeah, it'll be mined through the year 2140. I won't be alive. Damn. If I had kids right now, they wouldn't. So like, think about that. Like people call it a currency, but whose currency is it? It's not going to be our currency. It's not going to be your kids' currency. Maybe they're like, think about it. Whose currency is it? It's not a currency. It's a store of value. Something that can actually be passed on if you think about it, because it'll all be mined through the year 2140. Yeah, the last Bitcoin takes like, I think like 20 years to mine or something like that. I think the last Bitcoin literally takes 20 years to mine. Yeah, these are the next ones. After 2036, it's a very fine amount. Yeah, once we get into these years, it's like you got 99% of the Bitcoin out. When you get to like 2032 or 2033, I think. Year 2033 or 2034. Between there. That's when you have, between 2032 and 2036 is when 99% of the Bitcoin will be mined. But that last 1% is going to take a long time. Yeah. So yeah, with each halving comes like a really good, price increase. When you look at what's happening to the dollar, they could just print more dollars. This is why the US dollar has gone like this. Bitcoin has gone like this. Purchasing power as well. So yeah, like if you think you're late to the train, hey, maybe you haven't studied Bitcoin enough. Study it more, because there's a lot more to learn about it other than just this. All right. Satoshi? No. That's a good name for a dog, though, yo. Yo, that'd be a fire name, low-key. I'm going to wrap it up for the night, though, guys. We're going to be on tomorrow morning, New York session live. I'm going to go to sleep early tonight. I'm exhausted right now. We're going to be on live for New York tonight. I'm going to stay up and keep an eye on the charts. Like, I'll watch if I see any signals. But I'm going to wrap it up early tonight. We're going to be on for New York session tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning Eastern time. New York session. I'll be live. New York session tomorrow. All right. Satoshi would be a fire name for a dog, actually. Yeah, this weekend, I mentioned I'm going to make a section. I'm going to make a section in the classroom for the tools. A lot of people are hitting me up. And again, I put a lot of time into the inner circle and like what's coming with it. A lot of people are hitting me up. If you think about it, most academies out there are like $200 a month. My inner circle is a one-time fee. My inner circle is $12.50 one time. If you divide that by 12, that's $104 a month by 12. But once you pay that, you're in for life. Like, it's a one-time fee. Most academies out there are $200 a month. You can spend $200 a month on most academies. After 12 months, you'll spend like $2,400. And then you got to keep paying or continue, try to find a way to pay. My inner circle is a one-time payment. It's a one-time payment, guys. There's a lot to learn inside, and there's going to be a lot more to learn in the future. So however you look at it, I tell people, some people message me like, say it's pretty expensive, but I tell them look at it as a 10-year investment, a 5-year investment. If you were to break it down for a year, it would be $104 a month for a whole year, technically speaking. and then you're in for life. But right now, the school platform will always stay. I think when we hit like 500 members or 400 members, something, a certain amount of members, I'm going to launch a website. I have a website. I have a lot of other stuff. For now, I just want to build the foundation, get all the tools out, get everything out, organize the classroom more, and just get back to trading a bit here, you know, get on the charts. I want to get back to the charts. Gotta get back to the charts. Gotta find some trades. I want to find some trades. You guys got any trades? Bruh, some of you guys, like, who was it? Where was this trade? I was like, bro, why didn't you send a signal? Who was it? Wait. Where was this? Let me see. Bro, this is crazy. This guy has been hot. Yeah. I have people that are up. Like, I have people in my inner circle that are up 30,000, 10,000, 15,000, 5,000, 7,000. Like, there's been some big numbers. Where's this trade, man? This guy, where was this thing? This was funny. Where is it? Trying to find something. I can't find it. This. Look at this trade, bro. What the fudge? Look what I wrote, bruh. Send a signal next time, fam. You know, like, damn, yo. That was 11 days ago. 34.25 area. That's nice. I see you, bro. That's impressive. That's pretty impressive. So that's, if you go back to my Facebook, man. That's how I started trading, literally with 001, 002, 003, but I would catch big moves. So I would, you know, think about like that's like if I had, yeah, that's big. That's a big move there. Patience, power, patience. Read this. Most traders think that if you want to be profitable, you need to use big lots. But I don't think it's this way. Sometimes it's better to analyze the trend and hold it. All 3 lots are nothing, but hold them long. And how much, like that, yeah. Like I don't think I've seen 003s. Like, I don't even think I've done 003s that big. like dog. Like that's pretty impressive. And that's the way gold's moving right now. That's crazy, because like that's 0725. Held that power patience though. It's a 1 hour chart. That's crazy. I don't know if any of you guys saw that. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, like, I mean, small flip, pip and dip, flip and pip, flip and dip. You get, like, I'm gonna go over. Someone asked me to do a briefing on like $50, $100 account flips. I can, like, it's more mindset behind it. Well, most people, like, going for flips. If you're going for flips, a lot of people look at it as gambling. Like, some people say, you're gambling, bro. What are you doing? Like, you're trading aggressive. And I'm like, well, like, as long as you kind of analyze the risk beforehand and you find a good setup and you know, like, you're not just going to put a $5,000 in an account and go all in if you can't afford that, right? Like, I recommend if you're trying to do the flip challenges, the flip accounts, start with something you can afford to do again. If you ever see any of these guys or anyone like me, if you see me even flip an account or anyone, most of them have like probably cash flow, savings, or money to fund another account. If you ever see someone like flip an account, you gotta understand it's like a cost of operation. Because like if you put $1,000 in an account, you're trying to flip it in one trade. You're trying to take it to like 3,000 in one trade. You're trying to take it to like 2,400, 2,500, more than more than double, more than like a 2-to-1 risk to reward. What if you lose the first trade? Because when flipping an account, it's really about like that first trade, I think, or that maybe there's two ways to go about it. It's about that first trade, really. That first trade has to be a good one, and it has to hit. If it doesn't, you're kind of like, you're down. Your account's down. You have to be able to do another account. So I like, you have to know what you're starting with if you're trying to flip accounts in the week. Like, I tell people, start with $50 if you're trying to do an account flip. Don't start with an amount that it's like gonna burn you if you lose the flip or you lose the challenge, because you're pretty much challenging yourself at that point, right? But you want to treat it serious. Like, you want to make a trading plan around it. You want to know your risk ahead of time. Find a good setup. Like, if you're going into the week with $1,000 account and trying to flip it, you lose, you might burn yourself out because it's like, oh man, I don't have another $1,000 or something like that, right? A lot of people you see online that doing account flips, they probably have cash flow. They probably have that risk, maybe experience too, to be able to do that. If they lose the account, they could do it again next week. They could start the account again next week or whatever it is. So you kind of got to understand the cost of operation, because if you start with a $50 account and you're trying to flip it in the week, what if you lose the account? Well, you got to, you want to be able to maybe start the next week up, right? I have a student that's literally flipped $30. Like, I have students that have flipped accounts in the week, like in weeks too. This was a recent one. She did 5x on a small account in less than 2 weeks. There's different ways to do it. You could scalp a bit in the beginning, try to build up some profit. So when it comes down to flipping accounts, it might be like, okay, let me scalp some small trades to build up profit fast so I can go on a big trade. That's one way. I've flipped accounts is by funding the account, scalping small, trying to build up a bit of profit quick to go for that big trade. So I can use that profit for some risk. Trying to build up some quick profit by scalping or something, then use that profit to the risk. Or it's like that first trade. If anyone who's like, I've flipped accounts, I'm talking from experience. So I've flipped accounts. Go to my close friends. Those of you guys that are on my close friends, go look at my Instagram highlights. I'm gonna add more to it too. I gotta finish up that little highlight section. Go look. I'm talking from experience. So like, for me, how it's worked is that first trade it has to be a hit. Like, the first trade has to be a banger. I gotta be on point with that. For me, like, that's how it's worked. That's how I've done it. That's how I've done successful flips in the week or in the month. I teach the mentality. It's a mind. I think there's a mindset behind it too. You got to be looking for a good setup, but you don't want to be like, you don't have to over trade. It could be quality over quantity. You don't have to look for a lot of trades. There's a student of mine that took $150 to $765 on her own. That's literally in 2 weeks. So when it comes down to flipping, guys, like, for example, if I can find it, I might not be able to find it because it's probably back from like a few months ago. Probably old. Or let's see. I'm trying to find it. There's a lot of good examples I could use. Like here, for example. This is more aggressive. This will be aggressive, I would say, in a way. But $65. So when you're trying to flip an account, you want to, maybe for the level you're at, you want to look at the level you're at. Like, you don't want to go too big. Like, I've taught my students in my inner circle, like, if you're trying to flip and you see what you might see some people online who do flips, someone like me, try to find your happy medium. Think about business. Trading's a business, right? There's a cost of operation. That's how I thought of it. Once I started to think of it like that, I started thinking about the way I made my decisions differently. It's a cost of operation, in a way. Especially if you're trying to do things in certain ways, challenges in certain ways. I mean, everyone's at different levels. I'm not talking about funded accounts or anything. I'm talking about just real, raw money. That's all I've ever traded with. So I've never traded on a funded account. I've only traded with real, raw money. Obviously, I've practiced on demo, especially in the early days and stuff. There's a huge difference between a demo account and real raw money. It's good to practice on demo, but real money, like, there's a difference between when you're taking a trade with real money. I recommend, practicing even with small accounts, like $30, $50. Like, look at this guy. So like, for example, $50 account just to test things. Like, think about that, like $50 to $118. That's good ROI, right? Like, it's we're not always looking at the money. We're looking at, like, the ROI too of things. I'm trying to find, like, that one that was like $30 to whatever it was. I think it was $30. There. $75. It's in Italian. You got some European language there. $75. This is withdraw. The one with the minus is withdraw. That's profit. Then you have your swap, your commission, balance left. So deposit, withdraw, profit, swap, commission, balance. That's a flip. He did that in a week. I'm going to be interviewing him one day for you guys that are in my inner circle. There you go. $70. Profit. Look at. So there's kind of a mentality behind flips. Trying to grow an account. Analyzing the risk. And it's not about the money. It's about the ROI. Don't look at the money. Because, like, if you look at the money's never going to be enough. Like, if you're too focused, like, you got to look at the result, the trades. You got to have more respect to other things than just the money. The action, the decisions made, the ROI, the percentage, the planning. Because if you take $50, like, for example, one of those was like taking $50 to $116 in 1 week, right? Where was it? This one. Now $68 might not be a lot of money for some people. You gotta look at, like, when you're starting somewhere, you gotta have respect to the small things, because big things start small. So when you're doing things, like when you're working towards, like, getting results, you gotta be thinking of the bigger picture while doing small things. In the beginning, it might be $50, $60, $20. And yeah, that might not be a lot of money, but you can't look at it like, oh, I only made this much money. No, you gotta sometimes look at the ROI of things, change the script better, because you could be doing a good job in your trading, but it might not be a lot of money right now. It might be smaller profits. We gotta I always say you gotta be a person of vision and think of the bigger picture along the way. Believe in yourself, have faith, have the bigger vision for yourself. Keep doing the small things while thinking of the bigger picture along the way. I was up 2.4K last week, lost 1.K. I lost 2 trades in a row. It happens, and then I made literally it back on 1 trade. And so it was like, I was down for a bit. Yeah, we'll be live tomorrow morning. Tap in, smash the like button before we get off. We're gonna wrap it up here. I'm gonna watch gold. Let's see if I can find a signal tonight. Maybe not, maybe. We'll see. It's kind of testing that 75 area again. It's kind of holding like equilibrium zone. 75. I'm wondering if we hold this low overall for gold. That's kind of what I'm looking at, like this shift up. Does it hold the low? Do we get a deeper retracement? Yeah, sometimes, like what I learned, I used to get frustrated at myself when I would give money to back, because I would always say to the thing I would end up saying to myself was, All I had to do was nothing, and I would be up way more money. I used to always have these. Oh man, it'll still happen. It's not a perfect world. There might be times where it's like, man, all I had to do was nothing today, and I would have been up more money and no emotions, less stress. I'd have more money in my pocket, and I wouldn't be pissed off at myself. So yeah, if you go through those emotions, there might be times in weeks where you're literally like, man, all I had to do was nothing. In trading, slow is fast. In trading, slow is fast. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up for the night. We out. I'll be on tomorrow morning for New York session. I don't know what I'm looking for. London, just watching price. Like I explained. I explained a lot about gold. Like I said, looks bullish. You have two zones. 33.75 my hold. Right now, just watching price. Just got on the charts. There's a nice buy. Like you either have, like I said, you either have this zone hold, maybe short term for scalping. It's a weaker zone. It's like a more aggressive zone, or the next zone closer to 33.50. One of the two things I think could possibly happen for gold tonight. One of those two things I think will set up. I think price is still bullish. I think we broke out of this downtrend. Broke out of this downtrend here. Went up. I think it's trying to find continuations up. Possibly even to like up here. It looks bullish to me. Price. That's not. Yeah, it's looking more bullish to me. Yeah, like we could hold like this area potentially, or if we end up coming down, like a bigger retracement. Look at that. Still see buys potentially setting up. Looks like we have more like an uptrend now. We broke out of this downtrend. I think price is now trying to go upside. So pullbacks could be good to look for buys or bigger retracements. Right now you got a small pullback. If this small pullback doesn't hold, then you're probably going to go down for a deeper retracement. I'm going to wrap it up though, guys. I'll be on in the morning. Tune in tomorrow morning. I will see you guys on the next session. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your night.